Hey everybody, welcome back to the Peace Mission. I have a story for you today, something that happened. And, it was such a good example of how we treat each other again. And it reminded me of some research I did a while ago, a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago. Anyway, they found that it was about where violence comes from. Where does violence come from? And how does it come into being, so to speak? And it reminded me of that. So let me tell you the story. I was out having some Chinese food, and I saw some people in there with a to-go box, and it was one of those styrofoam boxes. And since we're having this problem, with all this garbage and recycling isn't really all it's made out to be, and I sometimes when it overcomes me, I talk to people about it. And so I did that today. And there were some younger people, and I thought they might be more open to it, So I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I told them before I started, I said, I don't want to preach. I just look at it as something to think about. Just think about it. Just an inspiration, maybe. I don't know. But I told him, and he got upset and a little bit. And he said, "Well, we're burning that stuff." And I said, "Well, yeah, we're burning it, but burning it, they have filters, yeah, but the shit stays, that stuff stays. The filter has to be put somewhere, and it all goes back in somewhere on this planet, So it doesn't really go away, And anyway, so next thing I know, the guy from the next table, an older gentleman, and I think the older we get, that was always what I was told, the wiser you get and the more of a role model you are for the younger generation, And so he starts, out of nowhere. He just starts, shut up, what the fuck are you talking about? And, he goes at me like that. And and I said, oh man, it's like, you really want to make an exhibition of your stupidity right now, And if I was to show how really stupid this is, This all happened in German, so kind of translating. But, and, then he got upset, and I was done eating anyway, so I didn't really deal with it a whole lot. I said, man, I thought you're supposed to be a good role model, for the younger generation. And then you told me, well, you should look into the mirror, And then I just wondered, it's something he probably never does himself, Anyway, so that just made me think, man, people never say anything when, first of all, I didn't do anything bad. I acted in the name of higher awareness, It was sort of the FOLTA awareness program, just to make people aware of things, because I think it's really important. And then, people tell you to shut up, and what is that? What is that? It's not like I'm trying to sell him dope or anything. I'm just telling him, asking him if he's aware of it, and giving him information that I have that he obviously doesn't have. And he can choose. He doesn't have to buy any subscription or anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm just giving a piece of free information. I think of valuable information to him, and this guy just freaks out. I didn't even talk to the guy. I mean, what is that? What is that? It's like, we're born free into this world. It's just nobody, no other human being has the right to suppress us. And it's like, you're saying something positive, that's helping, that's helpful. And some idiot goes, shut up, and, and you just wonder, why is that, Why is that? And then I have to come back to the article, because this kind of behavior is like, trying to suppress or repress somebody from being who they are, not even in a bad way. It's this power trip, and this, you're trying to suppress the other dude, and exactly that creates violence, repression. And in this research from the 70s, they found three reasons why violence exists. And the first one is a sort of a personal repression, the repression of your spirit, of your true nature. That's your own unique nature. We try to express it as children, and sometimes we're told, "Oh no, don't do this, don't do that." There's a lot of don'ts, and some don'ts are okay, but too many. So we start becoming stranger, feeling alienated towards ourselves and our environment, because we're like, well, wait a minute, I can't be this, this is just so natural. I mean, as a child, that's supposed to be wrong. So then, you start getting inner conflicts with yourself, because you can't express yourself, or nobody wants to talk about what you want to talk about, and it's important, this communication. You need to find an outlet. So if that's repressed through the circumstances, whatever they may be, you establishes in a conflict, and you start sort of sabotaging yourself, because your true nature is not okay anymore. That's what you're told. So there's a frustration comes out of that, is fueled by that, and that turns into violence, either towards yourself or towards other people, or things. And the second point that they brought up in this research is that it's another form of repression. But it's more of the social circumstances, a little bit larger scale. Social circumstance, a sense of like not being able to get out, not having the resources, not having access to the resources, and not to the knowledge. What can I do? That creates again a frustration, and you're repressed or suppressed or limited. And this frustration comes out. You need to find an outlet, and if you don't find one, violence is the last resort, so to speak. So that's the second source. And then the third one is our inactions. Like, we don't do anything when we see violence happen. Like, I'm not talking about, it doesn't have to be extreme violence in my mind. Like, we don't have to go and break up a fight. I mean, that's, of course, the basic example. But I'm also thinking about, not constructive behavior that we have toward each other, when we treat each other wrong, we don't say anything about that, or let each other know, hey, maybe that wasn't cool, you know. I don't know, just to let you know that, you know, see what you think. But to communicate in that way with each other, to avoid bad mistakes again, you know. And so those are the three reasons that I thought that was so interesting what happened today, because I see it a lot, that we are more likely to try and suppress each other or rule each other, rather than see each other as equals and partners, you know. And we don't see each other as part of the same human family that we're truly all part of, floating around the globe, you know. And I think it's a sense of frustration that we have, and we don't know where it's coming from. At least that was my experience. And I just didn't know, what the fuck is this, you know? And I knew it was outside of me happening too, but it was inside of me as well, because there's a dynamic, you know. It still exists, what I saw outside of me, but I realized I can react to it differently and change the outcome a little bit, you know? And it really woke me up. This was wild, you know. But it made me change my behavior. I became more aware of what I was doing, and I thought, whoa, you know. And I started realizing where my influence was. I started seeing, oh, I see. This is how far I can reach. This is my field of influence. And that was a very, very interesting experience. And it really, I got to work right away on myself and said, okay, let's work this out, you know. And I'm still working on it, you know. But it's fun to do it in a way, because everything is so clear, you know. And still unpleasant things, but they don't bother me as much, because I'm more solution oriented. What can I really do? Where is my field of influence? And then I work within that to have a higher success rate, and so therefore I'm happier. You know, that took me also a long time. I was like, fuck, man, you know, it's like nobody could, like, tell me about that, or sort of, that was weird, you know. Anyway, that was a long journey. It's still, but anyway, it's you know, fun now more. So this higher success rate here, because of you know, I recognize my field of influence, and yeah. So I just thought I wanted to share this experience I had today, and now I shared this, my own transformation with you. That wasn't planned, but I'm glad I did it, and maybe it helped. That's always the aim here at the here at Free. You know, sometimes I call it the FOLTA awareness program. But anyway, thanks for listening, and be well out there, okay? Do good. Do beauty. All right, take it easy.